circumvent this, we're going to go ahead and show you guys how to do it from start to finish. So what I like to recommend with foot placement is have your feet right in the middle of the bar or so, a little bit of ducking, go underhand or overhand at about a shoulder width grip. From here you're going to get a little bit of bend and you're going to get that back ready just like a deadlift. From here you can lift, have the knees slightly bent, push yourself down. You can see that my bicep isn't fully extended, but it's extended to the point where it's still under control. The bicep is still holding it along with the back. So from here, you row up, squeeze. Come down, let it stretch a bit, squeeze. Down, squeeze. Make sure you're touching your stomach. Try to squeeze if you want. Even better, reps. Another huge mistake is people that look forward because that'll push the spine down. I recommend looking about 6 feet in front of you, maybe at something in the distance. We're gonna look about like that. So first off, I like having my knee positioned either here or at the head. A quick little hack you can do is instead of rolling the dumbbell over or picking it up and over, you can literally just turn your person like this and do it from the other side. And that's how you can switch arms. So that's a huge little hack. The first thing I like to do is plant my knee, bring my foot out nice and wide. The wider I am, the more I can get my torso parallel with the ground. So if I'm here, you can see I can't really position myself downward. The bigger or wider stance I can get, the more centered I am. I like to plant my hands. Some people like knuckles. Do whatever you like, I don't care. That's kind of preference. So here you can see I have a nice position. And I'm able to really extend my arm nice and low without hitting the ground. If you're gonna hit the ground, you might wanna bring that leg in a little bit, squeeze your abs. Now, a common mistake, like Kyle said, you're pulling into your chest like this. I can't contract my back here. This is my bicep, you can see. So the goal is, starting here, parallel to the ground, big stretch, into my stomach, squeeze, come down. We're avoiding this weird swing. We have control, we pull into our stomach, squeeze our back, control on that eccentric, big stretch, stretch out your lat, come on, squeeze, squeeze. Now if you're going heavy and you're doing power rows, it's okay if you don't control the eccentric as much. You still want to be under control of the weight, but if you're bodybuilding, you might want a little bit of a slower eccentric rep, so on the way down. But if you're power building and you're just looking to really get the strength out of this exercise, you want to come up with power, a little bit of control, power, a little bit of control, power, a little bit of control, etc. I know I'm repeating it, but it's really simple. So main things, pull into that stomach, stay parallel with the ground, don't twist, pull all the way up, big squeeze, stretch it out. But just know, generally lat pull down, you're going wide grip, trying to pull into your lats, okay? What a lot of people go wrong is they pull in front of them, and they're using their triceps. They're pushing down like this. So your goal is to pull from your lats here, pulling your elbows down, squeezing together, like there's a tennis ball in between your back. So first and foremost, for positioning, you wanna make sure this is just above your knee, just enough that you can slide it and you're in there firm. You don't wanna lift you up and down. It's gonna look nice and silly. You're gonna grab it, you're gonna slide your knees right in here. So now you can see, if you're really tall and lanky like me, my hands push farther than the hyperextension. So it's gonna cause me to lean back a bit. Now where people go wrong is they lean way back and they try and do this, okay? That's more of a row. Instead we want that pull down motion. So I'm gonna make sure I have good flexion from my abs, because what we're not doing is this. We're not hyperextending into the spine. That can cause discomfort right here on your T-spine. It can cause long-term damage. You end up pulling your back, it won't be any good. So instead you're bracing from your ab, envisioning you're pulling those elbows down into your chest the best you can, squeezing, letting out with control from the lat, breathing out, squeezing with those elbows down, stretching out. Down, squeezing, stretching out. Once again. Start off, I'm going to show you how to do the conventional form. So we like using a V-bar here. This is kind of like your standard for the cable row. You're going to grab it, place your feet nice and flush, pull back to where you're kind of extended here. I'm not letting myself droop, I'm keeping my chest up, and this part I'm using my back to pull it back to get set up. Once I'm at this position, once again you're going to want to make sure you have that back in a static place. It's on a little bit of an angle, maybe 20 degrees or so. I have my back padded. I'm pulling in, squeezing that chest tight. Now I'm going all the way to full extension without locking my elbows because that's going to cause a lot of pain. So I'm here and I'm out to here. This is what your conventional is going to look like. If you want, you can do a little bit of bend to try to squeeze your back, not a ton. Now, moderate. This is Arnold's kind of form. Now, key thing to make here is you always need to make sure that your rhomboids are pushed back, right? You're contracting that scapula. That's going to be the big factor to whether you're doing this right or whether you're going to kill yourself. So when you're doing this, you're going to let it stretch. You can see how I'm stretched here on the eccentric. Concentric, I'm coming back to a big squeeze. Now here, I'm following the weight to where I feel my lats are being fully extended, or until this hits here. And I'm still keeping posture, pulling up. And you can see how much more of a range of motion this is. When doing this, you have to go a lot slower. As you guys can see in some other videos of me, I'm using a good weight, but I'm keeping it under control. I'm getting a crazy contraction. It's all about coming back from that big squeeze and pushing everything together, getting a nice thick back. Here guys, I get constant tension. My arms are locked in, but in a safer way, because the cable is semi-free moving. It's not like a bar where you're kind of in an awkward position. It allows you to move inward, outward. You have constant tension on the muscle, so you can go a lot lighter and get a lot more of the benefit. You're gonna get that downward pull of the cable at all times. So I like to go a little bit lighter and a little bit more high rep to be safe. So we're still in that weird position, but you can see I can pull up and it just feels a lot safer pulling up into myself. The cables as opposed to the free moving easy bar curl or whatever. You'll get a lot more like kind of hip movement and just people jerking up in weird ways. But with the cable, focus on that slow constant tension. So I recommend doing this maybe respectively heavy but not too heavy, a little bit lighter and a little bit higher rep. The reason for this, and the reason this exercise is really controversial, once again, is that awkward position. However, to really get the most out of the exercise, you need that elbow up. To perform a correct rep, you're gonna grab the cable, lean back, straighten out, lift up from the elbow, not from your shoulder, not from your hand. And you guys can see I'm lifting that up nice and high, and here I'm getting a huge contraction on my lateral head of the shoulder alongside my trap. So straight up like this, and that's all it is, guys. And it's a lot safer. Start off, you can position your hands wherever you like. Some people like straight, some people like here, some people like fully wide. It all depends what part of the back you want to work. From here, I recommend walking out. I like putting my feet kind of close in a strong stance. Now from here, it's important you let the weight pull you up in a safe way. You'll see I'm not like this already, I'm not loaded, I'm not completely forward and hunched, but I'm in a position where my chest is up, my hands are out, and it's got, my lats are contracted, right? You can see I'm able to do this movement. Now from this movement, I'm going to start pulling straight. Can't bend that arm, you have to pull completely straight. So I'm pulling straight to about my ab region. Now from here, this is where it gets a little bit. So this is what I would say is like your simple rep, right? My lats fully packed, boom. I'm on a fixed plane, and I can do this movement. That's the beginner one. From here though, if you really want to take it a step further, pack those lats, and then from here, use those hips as you have your butt out, come in, and pull through. So you guys can see when I let it pull me up clean, back down to this part, pack the lats and pull through. This will completely change the game. You're utilizing your glutes here to take it a step further, and it becomes a total exercise. You go from just working kind of your mid to upper lat region to working your full back all the way down there and really pushing in those rhomboids and traps all together, getting a crazy squeeze, and that's what this is for. It's a light exercise that isn't meant to be like a 90-pound thing. I'm using 30, 35 pounds here. That's all you need, guys.